The clock on the nightstand blinked 3:04 a.m. Emily Carter lay wide awake, staring at the shadows dancing across the ceiling. The air in the room was still, heavy with silence. Beside her, the bed was cold, David's side untouched. Again, *4. The past 7 years, Emily had believed her marriage was solid. Not perfect, nothing ever was, but real. Built on shared laughter, mutual ambition, and the kind of quiet companionship that made her believe they were one of the lucky ones, but lately, something had changed, it started subtly. Missed dinners. Cancelled date nights. Vague excuses that didn't align. David would kiss her goodbye in the morning, but the warmth never reached his eyes. His texts had gone from, "Love you, can't wait to see you tonight," to running late. Don't wait up. Emily wasn't the type to snoop. She believed in privacy, in trust. But trust, she had come to realize, wasn't the same as blindness. Earlier that day, David had left in a rush, tie half knotted, lips grazing her forehead, not her mouth. Meeting a new client at the downtown office, he mumbled, grabbing his keys. He didn't look at her when he said it, she had smiled then, but something inside her had cracked. A splinter. Small, but sharp, lying there now, the quiet was unbearable. She reached over and touched his pillow, its chill confirming what she already knew. He hadn't come home. The worst part was how unsurprised she felt. She slid out of bed, wrapping herself in the oversized cardigan David had bought her last Christmas. It still smelled faintly of cedar and laundry soap, his scent. Or what used to be his scent. She padded downstairs barefoot, careful not to let the wooden stairs creak. The house was dark but orderly. Dishes rinsed and stacked. A throw blanket folded over the couch. Nothing out of place, except him. In the kitchen, she poured herself a glass of water and leaned against the counter. Her reflection in the window stared back at her, tired eyes, hollow cheeks, the look of someone trying to solve a puzzle missing half its pieces. Her phone buzzed on the counter. A text David sorry. Crashed at Mike's. Late night. Love you. She read it twice. Mike was their neighbor. David hadn't mentioned seeing him in weeks. And love? The word felt sterile now. Out of place. Like something rehearsed. She didn't reply. Instead, she opened her notes app. It had become her quiet sanctuary, a digital diary of moments she couldn't say out loud. She scrolled past grocery lists and half-written poems until she reached the newest entry signs he's not really here anymore. Turns off his phone at night. Smells like cologne I didn't buy. Never talks about his day. Says, I'm tired. Instead of, I missed you. Emily sighed, then tapped a new bullet. Not home. 3:04 a.m. Says he's at Mike's. The last time he stayed out this late, he hadn't even offered an explanation. She closed the app and sat at the dining table, staring into the dark. Her eyes drifted to the framed photos lining the wall, David and Emily on their wedding day, laughing under a canopy of oak trees. A beach trip selfie. Thanksgiving at her parents', moments frozen in time, untouched by whatever this was now. She pulled her cardigan tighter. David wasn't a cruel man. He wasn't the type to yell or lie maliciously. But indifference had crept in slowly, like a fog. He was slipping away from her, and worse, she was starting to let him. She stood and moved toward the stairs, but stopped halfway up. On the hallway shelf was a small envelope, beige, unassuming. Addressed to her in David's handwriting. Her pulse quickened. She hadn't seen it before. Slowly, she unfolded it. Inside was a card. Plain. No occasion. Just 6 words scribbled in uneven ink. I need to tell you something. That was it. No date. No explanation. No signature. Emily stared at the message, a chill settling over her skin. The note was old, edges slightly curled. How long had it been here? Days? Weeks? Why hadn't he given it to her? The clock downstairs chimed once, 3:30. Emily placed the card back on the shelf. She didn't need to wake him up to talk. He wasn't here to wake. And yet, her heart whispered what her mind refused to admit. This wasn't a phase, it was a fracture, and something was about to break. David came home the next morning at 8:12 a.m. Emily didn't ask where he'd been. She didn't need to. His story was already written in the creases under his eyes, the faint scent of perfume clinging to his shirt, a scent that wasn't hers. Morning, he said casually, dropping his keys in the bowl by the door. You're up early. I didn't sleep. He paused, then gave her a sheepish half smile. Mike's couch isn't exactly 5-star. She nodded slowly. You said that in your text. David looked away, walked into the kitchen, and busied himself making coffee. The silence between them was no longer just silence, it was a language. A thick, pressing presence. Emily watched him. How he moved, how he avoided her eyes. Every detail screamed of distance. She wondered if he realized how easy it had become to lie, or if he noticed how quietly she was starting to disappear from the marriage herself. Later that afternoon, she opened her laptop in the study and searched how to track a car without being caught. The guilt didn't come. Only resolve. If there was a truth buried in his late nights and vanishing acts, she would find it. She deserved to know what she was being asked to forgive. She ordered a magnetic GPS tracker with overnight shipping. Simple. Discreet. No subscription needed. That evening, when David left for a supposed networking dinner, Emily followed him outside and gave him a peck on the cheek. Drive safe, she said, forcing a smile. He smiled back, almost surprised. Always. He didn't notice the tiny device she placed under his back bumper as he walked around the car. By 9 p.m., she was alone again. Her phone screen glowed with a red dot inching across a map. David's car, headed downtown. She watched as it slowed near the financial district, then turned off into a quiet side street. A minute later, it stopped. He wasn't at a restaurant. There were no office buildings on that street. Only townhomes. Emily's heart thudded in her chest. She stared at the screen, willing the red dot to move, to prove her wrong. But it stayed. Still. She didn't even realize she'd stood up until she was grabbing her coat and purse. The drive took 15 minutes. Her hands shook the entire time. She parked 2 houses down and killed the engine. The neighborhood was dark, silent. Curtains drawn. It was the kind of place where secrets could live comfortably. She watched from the driver's seat. At 9:32 p.m., David emerged from a townhouse front door. He wasn't alone. A woman stepped out behind him. Tall, red hair, elegant even in sweatpants. She touched his arm, and David laughed, an easy, warm laugh Emily hadn't heard from him in months. Then, without hesitation, the woman leaned in and kissed him. Not a quick peck. Not a goodbye. A kiss that lingered. Emily didn't cry. Not yet. She reached into her purse and tapped the record button on her phone, her breath shallow. The betrayal didn't hit her all at once. It rolled in slowly, like a tide, pulling her memories under, one by one. The wedding vows. The quiet Sundays. The anniversary dinner he'd forgotten 2 months ago. She sat in the car long after he went back inside. Her fingers trembled as she stopped the recording and saved it to a hidden folder. When she finally drove home, the night was cold, but her skin felt fevered. Inside the house, everything looked the same. But it wasn't. She poured herself a glass of wine she wouldn't drink and stared at the staircase for a long time, debating whether to go up or just stay there, suspended between knowing and reacting. Eventually, she opened her notes app again and added a new entry. What I saw tonight. He kissed her. He kissed her. He smiled like he used to smile at me. It wasn't a mistake. It was a pattern. This wasn't the first time. She locked her phone and let her hand fall to her lap. The silence returned, but now it was different. Now. She was no longer questioning reality. Now. She had proof. The next morning, David was already gone when she woke up. A note on the counter read, early meeting. Back by dinner. Miss you. Emily stared at it, expressionless. By dinner, she would be ready. Emily didn't speak to David that evening. She smiled. She served dinner. She asked about his day. And when he offered another recycled lie about back-to-back meetings, she simply nodded, as if the truth weren't already burning a hole through her chest. He had no idea she knew that was the power she hadn't realized she still held. By midnight, David was asleep beside her, breathing evenly, phone face down on the nightstand, silent, guarded. As always. Emily stared at the ceiling, listening to the rhythm of his breath. In 2 hours, everything would change. She rose quietly, stepping out of bed with practiced care. Her movements were mechanical now. She had rehearsed them all day. In the living room, her laptop sat open, a single email waiting in drafts. Attached were photos, audio recordings, screenshots. Every piece of evidence she'd gathered in the last 72 hours. The subject line was, simple for when you wake up. The message wasn't meant to hurt him. It wasn't revenge. It was the truth, finally spoken aloud. Emily moved through the house deliberately, unplugging the coffee maker, gathering the last of David's things, shoes by the door, a shaving kit in the downstairs bathroom, his gym bag. She placed them all in a box she had labeled in black marker, David, to go. At 2:45 a.m., headlights swept across the living room window right on time. A white van pulled into the driveway. The movers she had hired worked quietly, 2 men, polite, efficient, no questions asked. She told them it was a separation. Nothing messy. Just logistics, *. They carried out the box of David's belongings, plus 2 suitcases she had pre-packed and zipped beneath the bed. His suits. His watch. His keepsakes. Everything he had once brought into her life was now being carried out before sunrise, *. By 3 a.m., they were gone. *. Emily stood in the doorway, the night breeze brushing her face, the house behind her finally feeling like hers, *. She turned and walked upstairs, *. David stirred as she entered the bedroom. "Where were you?" he mumbled, voice thick with sleep, *. "Downstairs," she said calmly, slipping beneath the covers. "Couldn't sleep." "Come here," he said, reaching for her. She looked at his hand, then at his face. She thought about the townhouse. The red-haired woman. The kiss, *. Instead of answering, she sat up, *. "There's something I need to tell you," she said softly, *. He blinked. "Now?" Emily nodded. "Yes. Now." She got out of bed and walked to his side of the room. Without a word, she handed him her phone. The screen glowed with a paused video, the clip of him kissing the other woman. David sat upright, staring at the image. His expression shifted in seconds, from confusion to panic to disbelief. "I can explain," he said, voice cracking. "Please don't," Emily replied, her voice even. "Not tonight. I've heard enough explanations." He stood up, reaching for her. "Emily, She stepped back. "There's a box by the door with your things. I booked you a hotel. 1 night. That's all." He froze, as if the world had suddenly tilted beneath his feet. "You're kicking me out?" She exhaled slowly. "No, David. I'm letting you go." Silence swallowed the room. For a moment, he looked like he might fight. Might beg. But then something inside him settled. Deflated, he nodded once, when he was gone, shoes on, suitcase in hand. Door closing behind him, Emily returned to the kitchen and poured herself the same wine she had left untouched 2 nights before. This time, she drank it. The house was still, but no longer heavy. The silence had shifted. It wasn't empty now. It was clean. She walked to the hallway and retrieved the envelope she had found days earlier, the one in David's handwriting. She opened it again, reading the same 6 words. "I need to tell you something." Emily smiled, not bitterly, but with clarity. "You should've," she whispered. She tore the card in half and dropped the pieces in the trash. Then, for the first time in weeks, she turned out the lights and went to bed without checking her phone.